Hey y'all, welcome back. So I wanted to hop on here and do this video real quick. Something I was thinking about why I chose to be a spoiled wife versus a boss bitch. And I know it's probably like, what? But I chose to be a spoiled wife. I took a risk on having a family, assisting my husband with growing his income and his wealth, and focusing on just my kids and my husband, taking care of my household. When I had, every opportunity, and for a long time, let me be real, for a long time, I went back and forth because, I come from the generation of boss bees. Like, I'm that generation where we created that terminology. And so people are like, you're gonna be a stay-at-home mom, really? And yeah, I chose to. Now I've still had a career. I've still had different work at home options. That was always my first. I still use my gifts, I still use my talents. But if my kid gets sick, if they're in the hospital, they come before a job, period, no matter what. And raising 4 kids, there's going to be all those ups and downs. No matter who's a working mom, that's why it's so hard, because when school's out, you have to find somebody to watch your kid. If they're on break, you have to find someone to watch your kids. And then the fact of dropping your kid off at a daycare, and that wasn't for me. It wasn't for the ideal that we have for our family. And I mean, it is what it is. And so I chose to be a spoiled wife where my husband pays all the bills. I don't pay any bills. There will be times where I didn't have income and times when I did. But I didn't care. I had no fear of, what if he leaves me and I'm poor and broke? Like, I didn't care. It's not saying that I didn't care, but I had enough confidence in, one, myself, and the choice I made of the man I chose to marry. Now, he is a full-grown adult. We all have choices. He could choose to leave, walk off and leave today. He could have left 10 years ago. And guess what? I don't have fear of, oh no, if I don't have a husband, I'll be destitute. I'm still a full-grown woman. I was a woman when I met him. A young woman, but I was still a woman. I know how to pay a bill. I know how to use what I have to get what I want. Throughout our marriage, I've created the lifestyle that we live. He'll tell you that. He'll tell anybody that. When people come over and they're all oohing and ahhing about our life, he'll be like, that's my wife. If it wasn't for her, we still probably be living in a 2-bedroom apartment. He didn't have the vision. He has the muscle. And that's the difference between a spoiled wife and a boss bitch. A boss bitch goes out and she wants to use her body and put her body out there in whatever way. I mean, not prostitution, but she wants to use her body to pay the bills and do, make the money. I don't do that. My husband uses his body. He goes out. He does what he needs to do. I use my mind. I use my vision of what I see. I use manifestation, and I use my talents. But if them talents not being used from the house or on my schedule when I want it to be, not gonna happen. You're not gonna catch me in nobody's 9 to 5. Nobody's gonna tell me what time I can leave and come. Period. Not ever. Now, yes, I have my own business now, but it's because my husband, his salary was the one that was the seed money to launch my business. And his salary was what would go into all my ventures. I actually have multiple. I have some online businesses. And he bought the products. I did the research. I figured out where were good investments that we should put, because it's our money. It is our money. Yes, he works for it, but it's still our money, our household. So the issue is with people thinking that either or, a spoiled wife and that's the terminology I'm using, because people say that, oh, you're so spoiled. A spoiled wife is still a boss bitch. But she's doing it, she's working smarter, not harder. So women, let me just say this one final thing. And this is what women don't understand. Our bodies were not created to handle certain amounts of stress. Prolonged stress, let me say that. Because when you're pregnant, your body's under distress. But your body is biologically inclined to handle that stress. Men handle physical stress for prolonged amounts of time better. Men are able to take that stress and then transmute it into energy. Women, we hold on to that stress, and it wreaks havoc on our hormones, and that hormones messes up our brain. So that's why most women, you start getting fat, your hair start falling out when you're working too much. So we're walking around with alopecia, we're overweight, stressed out, going crazy, because your stress hormones also affect your brain. Anxiety, depression, thinking crazily, all those things play a part. Versus men, they could take that stress, go to the gym, and their muscles get bigger. So they're able to go take that stress and turn it into something that's going to serve them even more. So the more they work, the more stress they get, they go pump it in the gym, and now they're able to endure more and go further. We can't do that. It is what it is, y'all. Like, stop fighting against nature. Like, I don't know what's up with this current, like, wanting to fight against what is. And I don't want to hear, it's so many excuses when the truth comes out. But the truth is, you just don't want to sit and be who you are. And you don't want to trust and giving yourself over to a man because you think, I'm putting my life in his hands, I'm putting my destiny. You're not. Because when you choose the right man, you guys come together, and that's where power couples are created. I've been with my husband for almost 20 years. When I met him, I was what could be considered a young girl. But I knew that it wasn't happenstance. Why? Because I was intentional about the type of man that I wanted. I created who I wanted to marry. And so when I met him, I knew, I already recognized him. Why? Because he was in my journal. Okay. Talk about that one later. All right, guys. So I hope you guys will consider that. I don't know where you are. And even if you are, you're 35, 36, I don't care. It's not too late. But you better get it together now. And to the young girls, make choices now so that you're not 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Going through all the hormonal stuff and the bodily stuff, the biological stuff. And then you can't have kids because you done pushed your whole career trying to be a boss bee. And then you're trying to have a kid at 40 years old and your body's a wreck. Can't get pregnant. Like, cut it out, y'all. Cut it out. Okay? You only get one life. Stop wasting time. You get your eggs when you're 13, 14 years old. Those are the same eggs you keep your entire life. So by the time you're 40, that's why they're old. Stop playing, y'all. Just get off all this stuff and stop playing with life, okay? Because it's serious. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.